Welcome back to True Crime Documentary YouTube channel. Welcome to Real Crime Cases. Today, we're uncovering a story of jealousy, betrayal, and violence that shocked a small town and forever changed the lives of everyone involved. This is the tragic tale of Emily Grace Carter, an 18-year-old girl caught in the web of a powerful figure's lies and a wife's fury. What began as a hidden affair led to deadly consequences, revealing the darkest corners of a seemingly close-knit community. Scene transition. Emily's background. Emily Grace Carter was a recent high school graduate in Rayford, North Carolina, a small town where everyone knew each other's name. Known for her bubbly personality and kindness, Emily had big dreams to become a nurse. After her single mother's death from cancer, she took on the role of caretaker for her younger siblings, Jenny and Noah. She worked hard at a local Dollar Tree, saving money for nursing school, hoping to leave the small town behind for a brighter future. In the summer of 2017, Emily's life took an unexpected turn when she met Sheriff Tom Mitchell, a well-respected figure in Rayford. They met at a community event, and Emily found herself drawn to his charm and the attention he gave her. For a young woman craving excitement and escape from her routine life, the sheriff's interest felt thrilling. Their conversations turned into stolen moments, hidden meetings, and eventually, a secret relationship. Narrator transition. What started as a private romance soon spiraled into something far darker. By early July, Emily discovered she was pregnant. Filled with mixed emotions, she told her closest friends, unsure of what to do, but knowing she needed to tell Tom. Emily's decision. Emily was torn. She dreamed of a family, of Tom supporting her and their child, yet she feared his reaction. Friends reported that she intended to meet with him, hoping he would stand by her despite the risks. Yet she couldn't shake a feeling of dread. This small-town romance was no longer a secret, and the consequences of their actions could soon affect more lives than just her own. Scene transition. Discovery of Emily's body. On the morning of July 17, 2017, Emily's younger sister, Jenny, made a horrifying discovery. Venturing into the woods behind their home to search for her missing sister, she noticed broken branches and disturbed soil. Then she saw Emily's body, bruised and lifeless, hidden among the trees. Overwhelmed by shock and grief, Jenny ran back to their house and called 911, her voice barely steady as she relayed the unimaginable scene. When paramedics and police arrived, the normally quiet neighborhood was engulfed in chaos. Neighbors murmured about seeing Emily laughing and smiling just days before. How could something so terrible happen to someone so full of life? The investigation begins. Detective Laura Adams, a seasoned investigator, arrived with her partner, Officer Mark Jensen. The crime scene was deeply unsettling. Emily's body bore marks of a brutal beating, her clothes were stripped away, and the ground showed clear signs of a struggle. Nearby, detectives found a discarded police siren and a burned spoon, items that added a sinister edge to the mystery. As investigators examined her body, they made a startling discovery. Emily was in the early stages of pregnancy. Whispers spread quickly, and detectives knew they now had a possible motive. Was Emily's pregnancy tied to her tragic end? Suspicion falls on Sheriff Tom Mitchell. The investigation soon turned to Sheriff Tom Mitchell. Initially cooperative, Tom was evasive when detectives questioned him about Emily. Under pressure, he admitted to their affair, explaining that they met while she worked at Dollar Tree. What started as friendly conversations had developed into a physical relationship. Tom described it as a lapse in judgment and claimed he intended to support Emily financially, though he wasn't thrilled about the pregnancy. But as detectives dug deeper, a disturbing pattern emerged. Tom Mitchell had a history of secret payments to other women in town, relationships he had hidden from his wife, Karen. Using police funds labeled as miscellaneous expenses, he had paid off several women, all of whom he'd seduced under similar circumstances. His confession left detectives wondering, was this secret worth killing for? Karen Mitchell enters the picture. Investigators turned their focus to Karen Mitchell, Tom's wife. Karen was well known in town for her social influence and strong-willed personality. As detectives looked into her background, they saw the darker side of a woman who had quietly endured years of her husband's indiscretions. But this affair was different. Emily was young, innocent, and now carrying her husband's child, a public scandal Karen could no longer ignore. During her interview, Karen told police she had long suspected her husband's infidelities, but had ignored them, focusing on her family and duties as a Christian wife. However, her suspicions intensified in recent months when she noticed Tom's behavior growing increasingly secretive. Her suspicions were confirmed when she found a video on his laptop, footage of Tom with Emily engaging in intimate acts inside the aisles of the very store where Emily worked. But the discovery that finally shattered her calm came from a friend who mentioned seeing Emily purchasing prenatal vitamins. Karen connected the dots and realized that her husband's affair had resulted in a pregnancy. Humiliated and filled with rage, she knew she couldn't sit back and let her husband's betrayal go unpunished. Karen's confrontation with Emily. Detectives found evidence of a meeting between Karen and Emily, arranged just days before her murder. Witnesses reported a tense encounter at a local park, where Karen allegedly confronted Emily, demanding to know her intentions with Tom, and even hurling insults. Witnesses described Karen as agitated, raising her voice as Emily quietly walked away, refusing to engage. Karen admitted to detectives that she had confronted Emily out of anger, but insisted she did nothing to harm her. However, the evidence painted a different picture. In her text messages, detectives found exchanges that showed Karen's obsession with the affair, repeatedly mentioning her anger and feeling of betrayal. The breakthrough in the case. After weeks of investigation, detectives discovered a critical piece of evidence, a heavy wooden club found near the crime scene. The club bore faint fingerprints that matched Karen's. Forensic experts also found fabric fibers on Emily's body that matched clothing Karen was known to wear. Confronted with the evidence, Karen finally broke down, admitting to confronting Emily in a fit of rage, but claiming she hadn't intended to kill her. According to detectives, Karen had waited until Emily was alone, confronting her in the woods behind her home. When Emily refused to back down, Karen's anger overwhelmed her. She struck Emily with the club, repeatedly, unable to control the rage she'd bottled up for years. By the time Karen stopped, Emily was gone, and there was no going back. Karen's arrest and community reactions. On the morning of July 27, 2017, detectives arrived at Karen's home to arrest her. Neighbors watched in shock as the sheriff's wife, once a respected figure, was handcuffed and led away. For Emily's family, Karen's arrest brought a bittersweet sense of relief. They could never get Emily back, but they finally had some answers. The trial. A fight for justice. Karen Mitchell's trial began in May 2018. The courtroom was packed as the community grappled with the horrific details of the crime. Karen's defense argued that she had been driven to a breaking point by her husband's repeated betrayals, portraying her as a woman suffering from emotional trauma. Her lawyer claimed that Karen's actions were the result of an uncontrollable rage brought on by years of marital deception and the shock of Emily's pregnancy. But the prosecution painted a different picture, portraying Karen as a calculating woman who brought a weapon with the intent to silence her husband's mistress forever. They argued that Karen's motive was not temporary insanity, but a cold desire to protect her image and social standing. Witnesses recalled Emily's kindness and innocence, a young woman with her whole life ahead of her who was taken too soon. After 2 weeks of deliberations, the jury found Karen Mitchell guilty of second-degree murder. She was sentenced to 25 years in prison without the possibility of parole. As the judge pronounced the sentence, Karen's composure finally broke, her future now sealed. The aftermath. A town shaken. Following the trial, Sheriff Tom Mitchell faced his own reckoning. Investigators uncovered years of embezzlement, revealing that he had secretly funneled public funds to pay off his mistresses. Tom was charged with multiple counts of embezzlement and sentenced to 5 years in prison. The once respected sheriff was now a disgraced figure, his actions leaving a scar on the town's trust in law enforcement. Jenny's story and community healing. Emily's younger sister Jenny took a different path, entering a rehabilitation program to confront her grief and struggles with addiction. Supported by friends and counselors, Jenny found a renewed purpose, eventually pursuing a degree in social work to help others in need. By 2019, she had graduated and dedicated her life to supporting young women facing similar struggles. The community, deeply shaken, established a scholarship in Emily's memory to support students pursuing careers in nursing or social work, a tribute to the dreams she never had the chance to fulfill. Narrator closing. The tragedy of Emily Grace Carter's life, the downfall of Sheriff Tom Mitchell, and the imprisonment of Karen Mitchell left a lasting mark on Rayford, North Carolina. This story became a dark reminder of the consequences of betrayal, jealousy, and unchecked power, leaving the town committed to rebuilding trust and learning from these painful mistakes. Thank you for joining us on Real Crime Cases. If you'd like to see more real-life murder mysteries, don't forget to like, subscribe, and let us know in the comments. What sentence do you think Karen deserved? Until next time, remember to cherish life, as there's only one. Yours truly, the detective.